these guys in Ames. They're playing lights out since then. What have you seen from them that is contributing to their success of late?
I think the last 6 games they're shooting 50% from the field, 49 from 3, 78 from the foul line. We've got the guy with the best ball security in America handling the ball so they don't turn it over much. So when you shoot it like that and you get shots, you're going to be pretty good.
What did Javon and the rest of the defense do well against Monte the first time you played?
Stay in front of them as best we could. Stay in front of them, make them take hard shots.
Got 5 seniors. Last game they'll be playing on this court. How will you remember these guys that are walking out on the carpet tomorrow night?
Well, they've been great. I mean, anywhere from Nate Adrian, who's had one heck of a career, just does so many things for us and has really for 4 years, and James Long, who has, without a question, lettuce and work ethic, has been an unbelievable teammate. Brandon's had a tough career just from an injury standpoint, but I thought came back this year and really did a heck of a job this year. So, who am I missing? Tavon and Tariq. How could I forget those two? Well, Tariq's been, Tariq I think was part of the deal that got this program back turned around and back in a national conversation. He's one of the guys we went and recruited when we had such a bad year, and he's come in with his competitiveness, and he's got great work ethic as well. And Tavon the same. I mean, those two guys really have good work ethic, and I think that's the thing that we'll miss from those seniors more than anything, is I think they've really had great work ethic.
These kids aren't superstars, but yet collectively, I guess the sum is greater than the parts maybe with these guys, and they're going to go out as one of the winningest groups in school history.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that, but that's probably true. They compete, and they've competed at the highest level. I think, and I've said it many times, this league's harder than the Big East was. I mean, there's no bottom in this league. So they've done it against, I think the best out there. We've probably played more games against ranked teams than any time in school history. And those guys have been a part of beating the number 1 ranked team in the country a couple times. They've done a lot of really good things, and a lot of it because they do play together and because they do play so hard.
Do you think the common fan appreciates what this group has accomplished? I mean, obviously you do, because you're with them every day, but you don't have guys soaring to the basket doing dunks and being on SportsCenter highlights and things like that, but they win.
John, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, because I don't. I think they do. I mean, from the feedback that I get from our fans. I don't know. My brother said he set up all the way upstairs, and he said that's where you sit. He said those are the real fans up there. He said they go crazy. They live and die with every shot and pretty much every bounce of the ball. So, I mean, those are our people.
Coach, remember when you brought it to the attention of these guys that you were going to implement the press the way that you were? It was going to be a pretty drastic change, and how they did respond to what was a pretty big ask of them at the time?
No, not really. They do whatever I tell them to do, pretty much. There really has never been a question in anything that we've changed or we've tried to implement. I mean, they try to listen and do what you tell them to do. They obviously don't do that all the time, but it's not because they're not trying to.
Coach, the class that came in with Nathan and Brandon, Holton, Elijah was part of that class, Devin. Talking about a couple of guys there who had to sit out before they could play, a couple of guys that had to deal with illnesses and injuries. The adversity that these guys that they went through maybe as a collective group, how much did that make them better in the end?
I don't know. I mean, we all deal with it. and we all deal with it in our own ways. Not everybody deals with it the same way. Those guys didn't deal with it the same way. The one thing, Justin, I can tell you that's a common thread with all of them is they really do sincerely like each other, and they really do care about each other. You know, and there's a huge difference between liking somebody and caring about somebody. And when something happens with one of the guys or their family or whatever, they all bond together. And they're all there for whomever it is for whatever reason it is. So I think that's a special kind of quality that these guys have had over the last 3 years.